Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Wrestling IQ 101. When I'm not hosting our podcast, I'm usually at collarandelbowbrand.com. That's right, Collar and Elbow is the only place that combines wrestling with street attire. And I know what you're thinking, I want to look fashionable too, and I also want to save 10%. So head over to collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code WIQ101 and look fashionable and save some money. And now, on with the show. Hey everyone, welcome back to Wrestling IQ 101. And hey guys, I'm Andrew from Wrestling IQ 101. Make sure you listen to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And today, I'm sitting with Impact star Katarina. How's it going?
It's going good, thank you. I'm a little bit fluey, so I apologize for my croaky voice.
Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. you sound, I mean, we just said it before. I mean, you sound perfect to me.
Oh, thanks.
So, I'm going to start off by saying this. I don't really think that I'm a good-looking guy myself. And how did a guy like Grado get somebody like you to be their girlfriend?
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. I think Grado is incredibly charming and adorable. He's a wonderful person and a wonderful wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's kind of like that Rusev Lana thing, though. You're like, oh, how did that guy get somebody so gorgeous,
Maybe.
Oh, man, but that's, it's awesome that you're, in Impact again. How did that situation come up for you to return?
Well, I had been watching it a little bit, not watching on, on TV, but just sort of on social media and everything and seeing how it was progressing and well, this is a really exciting company to be part of, and, I knew it was different management and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I just reached out and I said, this is something that I'd really like to be a part of. Do you have any spots available?
Mm-hmm. But, when you left
and they did, so.
Luckily, yeah, right? When you left the first time, right, it was just kind of abrupt. They just stopped booking you, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit strange. I felt like, the storyline that I had at the time, losing my title, etc., wasn't really concluded. So that was a bit of a shame. So I'm definitely glad I get to go back and do some more damage.
Yeah, when you look at, when you left WWE, I think you said that you wanted to leave, right? And now, knowing what you know now, knowing how you've grown, would you want to go back there and contribute there, or are you just satisfied being an Impact?
I'm very satisfied being an Impact. I love being there. I think creatively it's a really great place to be. I think they're a growing company, which is also a fantastic thing to be a part of, and I love that they work with so many different, other different companies, like Lucha Underground. That's something that I would love to be a part of at some point, if possible. And then just how they're working with all the different companies around the country, I think that's really exciting. And then also for me, obviously doing the acting thing and having that freedom, for me it's perfect.
Yeah. Were you always into acting even as a kid?
Yes. It's a short answer. Yeah, that was kind of what I was going to do before I, even started training in wrestling.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, who were some of your actors or actresses that you looked up to or movies that really inspired you to do this?
Christopher Walken, Michael Madsen, that's a couple of my favorite actors. Nicole Kidman, I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, my favorite movie for a long, long time has been, Batman Returns.
Oh, wow.
So, that. But a whole bunch of, different ones. I have a very eclectic taste. I just really enjoy interesting characters and, psychological journeys, in a movie. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, Batman Returns is one of my favorite too. So I have to.
Oh, good.
It's awesome that you like Batman. That's so cool. So, when you talk about writing and directing, you've done the Red Light Diaries. You've done some small parts.
Mm-hmm.
How did that all come about? Did you get an agent, or did you just start doing it on your own?
No, that was just something that I just completely did by myself.
Wow.
So I just wanted to make something, and I bought a camera, and I wrote something, and I asked my friends to come help me and shoot this thing in my apartment, and there it was.
Wow, and it's kind of impressive. I mean,
well, thank you.
It's humble beginnings, right? And then now to see where you are now, you're doing fantastic, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And more to come.
Yeah. The one thing I like about your channel is that you post you do like a Star Wars video with an all girls cast, but I just thought that was amazing. I was like, this is so cool.
Thank you.
Was that your idea? Do people inspire you, walking down the street or something like that, or do you just think about this stuff?
No, actually, it was an audition.
Oh,
I
really?
Take that as an audition. Somebody was making a all-female fan film type thing. And it asked me to read for the one character, and then they said, but if you wanted to add any of the other additional characters, just audition-wise, then feel free. And so then I decided to do all of them and edit it together.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you spend most of your free time, just, doing all this directing and editing and stuff like that?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's kind of my favorite thing to do is to be creative. So when I have, downtime, I'll write something, or I'll sell my wrestling gear, or I'll, do some photography or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And then, a couple of weeks ago, we actually met at the Legends of the Ring in New Jersey, and then the night before you did WrestlePro. Is it fun for you to still get out into those local shows and conventions to meet the fans?
Oh, yeah, it's so much fun. Like, every time is different, and you just don't know who else you're going to meet, and it's just really awesome.
Yeah. When you're at like WrestlePro and they throw some, and you get a match between like Deonna Purrazzo, does that motivate you to go out and perform at a certain level, or in front of the fans?
Yes, of course. I mean, anytime you get to wrestle somebody who's if it's caliber like somebody like that, it's obviously fun for me, and also it was a privilege. And I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? Every time you go perform, you want to try and do the best that you possibly can. So for sure. And then you learn from everybody that you work with as well, which is really wonderful. Yeah,
that's awesome. So I was listening to another interview that you did, and you said you had a crush on Diesel.
Yeah.
You still have that crush on him, or is that kind of faded?
Well, it's a crush that lasts forever.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of thing that doesn't go away, It's like your first.
Yeah. I guess that. Yeah, I guess I still have my first crush. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, there we go.
Mine was probably Sunny, so that's pretty funny.
See?
And I did have the gloves too. I remember you saying you had the Diesel glove. I had the Shawn Michaels too.
Nice.
So were you attracted to the physicality of wrestling, or were you more enticed in the drama when you were growing up?
I guess more the drama, if I had to pick one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they go together.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's interesting because when I first started watching it, it was actually the violence that kind of put me off.
Okay.
I was watching it, but when I thought it was real, I felt a bit guilty watching it. And then when somebody told me that it was fake, then I was like, oh great, now I can watch it and not feel bad, that they're hurting each other. And so I then started to enjoy the other aspects of it more. But then, as I grew older, I got more into, combat sports and things like that. So I guess it's almost like a premonition.
Yeah,
in a way.
That's pretty cool. When you decided to pursue wrestling and you moved from, you moved into the United States, were you more excited, or were there like nerves that like you couldn't believe?
Well, I was signed by WWE, right? That's
Yeah.
how I got right here. So I don't know. I guess a bit of both. I mean, you're always going to have the nerves, right?
Yeah.
But it was just really exciting to be, sign with a big company and make that my, my full-time living and my career, and, also having those people believing in you enough to sign you and, send you to developmental and everything. So I think probably a bit more, excited.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, when you moved over, what were some of the struggles that you had to overcome? Were there any?
Not really.
No, there wasn't like housing or anything.
Sorry? Like what?
Like there wasn't like getting used to like driving on the other side of the road or anything like that. Like.
No, because I learned to drive in Germany.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's the same, and it's actually much easier here, especially since all the cars are automatic, and in Germany all the cars are stick shift, for example.
Oh wow.
So that was pretty easy. I mean, obviously, first arriving and having to find somewhere to live and stuff, but actually it's all pretty. When you have a job, everything's pretty simple.
Yeah. Did you like traveling with WWE? Did you get burnt out at any time?
No, I love traveling with WWE. I just love traveling in general. I feel like it's almost you're stuck in a little time capsule, a time pod, where it's time out from the real world. You don't have to worry about anything, because for the time that you're traveling, it feels like you're weightless and you don't have any responsibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It used to be more so than now, because now they have Wi-Fi on planes and stuff like that. But it used to be, if you're on the plane, you don't have access to the real world, so you can only be shut off from it. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, like peace and quiet, right? You just turn off the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always enjoy seeing new places and new landscapes, things like that.
Do you have a certain favorite place that you like to go to, like on your downtime? Is like New York or just the beach?
I go hiking.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like the woods. I like trees and things.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So, when you first get to Impact and you're working with Angelina Love, how was it working with her as Winter?
It was great. I mean, I really enjoyed the character. I enjoyed that storyline. It was very different. I loved the way that Vince Russo wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very kind of poetic in the way that he wrote the dialogue and everything like that. And it had this, dark side to it, and at the same time it was, these romantic, overtones. So it was just really fun for me to come in and do something like that. It's a little bit different, and also that was very storyline based from, on day one, and it developed over a year. So it was really good to, get my teeth sunk into something like that. And I mean, Angelina Love, she's an amazing talent, so it was fantastic to work with her too.
Yeah, it was awesome because, that was like the first time on TV that you won titles, like the women knockout title and the tag titles, I mean, how could you not get behind you? It's a little backtrack to WWE for a minute. When you were there, you got to work with Paul Burchill. Do you guys still keep in touch? And did you like working with him?
I love working with him. Yeah, he's a great guy. I hear that he's still working a little bit from time to time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I thought he was an amazing talent. I mean, I really loved all the work that he did as the Ripper. And then, of course, as you know, I knew him before in FWA as well, where he was already doing tremendous things, in England. So I'd already known him from before, so that was nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when you look back at your career, what were some of your favorite matches or moments that stick out to you?
Well, I mean, I really love my time. For example, well, I don't know. I guess I'm starting out. You know, when I started wrestling, you know, at Hammerlock and FWA, those were really magical times. Having my first match in Hammerlock, actually, against Magic, that really stood out to me because it was my first singles match. We had an audience of 1,000, which was obviously a lot, you know, for a small independent promotion. And I just remember distinctly feeling like the crowd was so into it, just in general, you know, the show, the crowd was really hot. And I remember feeling like they were cueing me as to, you know, what I should do next, you know, through that reactions. And I never really felt like that again. So that was really special to me. Obviously being part of the FWA, being part of British Uprising, and having the feud with, you know, Paul Travell and the family. And that was an amazing time. You know, my ladder match with Beth Phoenix. Also my feud with ODB at OVW. That was super, super fun. And I got to also just really develop a character there. And then, again, you know, being, you know, at WWE and doing some of the things, you know, working with Paul and doing the handicap matches, that was special. And then, obviously, TNA we talked about.
Yeah. You know, I was listening, I think it was the Vince Russo podcast you did, and you said that when you left WWE, you lost 10 pounds and you felt better about yourself. You know, and Vince, he was like, "Oh, did it really make a difference?" And you said, "For you, yeah." I mean, for women out there now, you know, do you kind of how do I put this? You know, do you encourage them to be, you know, who they want to be, like if as the wrestler they want to be? So if they want to be a little bit bigger, do you say go for it or be who you want to be?
Well, first of all, that wasn't a knock on WWE, by the way. That was just a knock on that towards the end I felt, I don't know, I guess I wanted to do more and I wasn't, so that was, you know, frustrating for me. And I think that when I left, you know, having a sense of freedom, whatever, you know, and then the other thing is too that I think that sometimes if you're trying to, you know, watch your figure or whatever, sometimes you can over focus.
Okay.
So when I'm focusing too much on, say, working out and diet, I get to a point where, you know, where it stresses me out, and then almost like I eat more and I have the opposite reaction to what I'm trying to do. So sometimes it's just better, you know, especially for me, to just, you know, relax and just let my body figure it out. But then again, you know, different people have different genetics. And so, like, growing up, I was always naturally just very skinny. So I really don't have to do a lot to stay slim. You know, whereas for some people, they have different body types or different, you know, metabolisms and things like that. So I think in real life, you know, you should just be how it makes you happy. And as long as you're healthy, it's, you know, it doesn't matter. I think if you're in a industry like professional wrestling where maybe it's part of the job to somewhat look like an athlete, you know, it's not a terrible thing to try and do.
Okay,
but
that makes
obviously
sense.
there's room, as we've seen now recently, especially, you know, there's room for all shapes and body sizes, you know, especially in this sport as well. So, you know, again, I think as long as you're happy and you're healthy and you can find your path with the way that, you know, you want to look, and that's fine.
Yeah, you know, WWE, they're doing all these tournaments now. That, you know, the UK tournament's actually going on now. You know, they got the Mae Young Classic. They're starting looking for new talent for that. The Mae Young Classic. Would you want to be part of something like that, knowing that they're getting some of the best women around the world, and certainly I think you would fit in there.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy. You know, like I said, I'm happy where I am.
Okay. I mean,
so that would say if I wasn't where I was, then perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be kind. I mean, I think you would. I think if you would have went for sure, I think it would have been a whole different run than you had the first time, though. Because now you have you got so many women now you can work with, like Sasha Banks and Bailey and
right.
Charlotte. So I mean, incredible women.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, fantastic.
Yeah, and even in Impact too, you got Allie, Rosemary, Tessa Blanchard. Are you looking at this as endless possibilities for you now in Impact for different matchups?
Yes, of course. I mean, all those, all the girls that you mentioned, all the ladies that you mentioned, and fantastic, and definitely, I worked with Sue Young as well recently.
Oh yeah.
For the one and only up in Toronto, the Zero Miedo. So that's on the Wagon app. If you guys don't have it yet, you should get it. Where you can watch all the Impact shows. So yeah, definitely looking forward to having spectacular matches with all of those.
Yeah. Is there one person that you wanted to wrestle that you haven't had the chance to? Or
no. I mean, Diesel.
Diesel? You don't want to wrestle Diesel? I don't even want to wrestle Diesel. He might beat me.
He's right.
Oh man, Diesel. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be a great match. I think you would definitely win though. Definitely would take that one.
I guess we'll see.
The thing I liked about what you've been doing in Impact, you're not afraid to show some comedic side to you. There was a thing where Kevin Matthews and Fala, they came up to you and they tried to pick you up. How was it working with those guys? Because I see them a lot every time at WrestlePro. How was it? Yeah. I mean, how is it working with them?
Well, it's awesome. I mean, Kevin's a good friend of mine anyways. I've known him for years. I've been back and forth to WrestlePro, and so he's always funny, and Fala is awesome. So I really enjoyed that tag team as well, and the way that they're developing it. So getting to work with them was cool, and who knows, maybe in the future we could do it again.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the note that Fala wrote, but hopefully they can mend that friendship. So, when you got to WWE, did you like the term diva, or did you think that was, tongue in cheek?
I can't remember particularly whether I liked it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking back at it now, I guess my brain's gotten so used to it, it doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been much of a girly girl.
Okay.
So being like a diva or something like that has never particularly seemed to suit me.
Okay.
In that sense. But at the same time, it doesn't bother me particularly, especially looking back.
Oh, nice. So for people who don't know... I'm sorry.
But I like Knockout better.
Oh, yeah, Knockout, yeah. I mean, and you certainly did that and continue to do that still when you wrestle with people. So, so for people who don't know, can you tell them a little bit about the Red Light Diaries so they can maybe find out where to watch that?
Yeah, so it's a web series that I wrote and created. It's on YouTube, so all you have to do is go to youtube.com/Red Light Diaries, and it's 13 episodes. It's a narrative about a young prostitute and her life.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then...
It's awesome, so,
Yeah.
If you watch it, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
If you hate it, I want to know about it, too.
Yeah, and I'll post a link under the thing so people can check that out as well.
Thank you.
Do you have any upcoming projects that you could talk about? Acting, film, directing, writing?
I have a film that's going to be released in the upcoming months. So I shot in, that I'm acting in. It's directed by Shi Kong Chung, and it was filmed in the UK, actually,
Okay.
in 2016, over several months. And it's called Redcon 1. It's a zombie film. I play one of 8 soldiers, or like a special unit team that goes in to, find the doctor who has the cure. And of course, we encounter a whole bunch of adventures along the way. There's a lot of action in it as well. And there is a lot of, tongue-in-cheek humor and a few special little, unique touches to it. So I think people will enjoy it, and that will be coming out, I think, later on this year.
Awesome.
I can keep you posted on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Keep us posted. We'll help you share it and retweet it if you need to.
Thank you.
Make sure everybody can watch that.
Yes, and if people listening to this podcast have not yet seen Karate Kill, that's on Amazon, and I'm in that as well.
Yeah, so people, if you're listening, you have so many great options, and
Right.
you can also catch Katarina on Impact on every Thursday on Pop TV. So they can see you everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
And where can people get you on social media if they want to connect with you?
So Twitter and Instagram is both Katarina's Infamy, youtube.com/Katarina's Infamy, and my Facebook page is also /Katarina's Infamy.
Well, Katarina.
So yeah, I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram. So.
Oh, awesome. Well, Katarina, thank you so much for taking up the time and talking with me. I feel bad for
Thank
Taylor
you.
Hendricks.
Oh, we're gonna have fun.
And that was an awesome video that you did for that. Very, I thought that was brilliant.
Thank you very much. I try and have a bit of fun with my promos.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was perfect. So, guys, and really sincerely, thank you for taking out the time and talking with us, today at Wrestling IQ 101. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And I appreciate it as well.
Yeah, and for us, we are Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. Make sure you subscribe right here. Also, listen to us on the B Plus Player Network on YouTube, on SoundCloud, Google, iTunes, anywhere podcasts are found. And, we'll see you guys soon. All right, so